Hello there. Good day, what I'm about to tell you is mind-blowing, and I would want you to give me all your attention. Please suspend everything you're doing and pay the price of giving me your ultimate attention, because what you will hear now, you may never hear anywhere again. Have you ever felt your body turn against you? When every breath becomes a battle, and every step feels like climbing a mountain. What I'm about to share will shake a lot of things you thought you knew about healing and faith. Before we begin, I want you to do something. In the comments below, tell me where you're watching from. Whether you're in Lagos, London, or Los Angeles, we're family. Let's connect and pray for each other, because what you're about to hear might be exactly what someone in your city needs today. My name is Emmanuel, and my story begins on March 15th, 2019. I was 28 years old, working as a teacher, and life felt normal. Then one Thursday morning, I woke up feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. My head pounded. My joints ached. My throat burned. I thought it was just flu, so I took some medicine and pushed through the day, but the flu never left. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. My body started doing things I couldn't explain. My heart would race so fast, I thought it would explode from my chest. I'd walk from my bedroom to the kitchen and need to sit down, gasping for air like I just run a marathon. My fingers and toes went numb. Sometimes I couldn't feel my hands at all. The hospital became my second home. Doctors ran tests, blood work, scans, more tests. They used words I couldn't pronounce. Autoimmune disease, they said. Your body is attacking itself. They explained. They gave me papers with 5 different diagnoses written on them. 5 separate conditions. Each one had a long, complicated name. I remember sitting in that cold hospital room, staring at those papers. The doctor looked at me with sad eyes and started talking about wheelchairs. He wanted to discuss making my house accessible. Ramps, wider doorways, bathroom handles. He was planning my future as a disabled person, and I was only 28. The hardest part wasn't the physical pain. It was watching my life shrink. 6 months before, I could exercise for 45 minutes without breaking a sweat. I was working on my balance, getting stronger every day. Now I couldn't walk down the hallway without my legs shaking. I couldn't hold a pen because my hands were numb. I couldn't stand long enough to cook a meal. My students at school missed me. My principal called to ask when I'd return. I didn't have an answer. How do you tell people that your body forgot how to work? That simple things like brushing your teeth make you exhausted? Some nights I'd lie in bed and cry. Not just from pain, though the pain was real. The headaches felt like someone was driving nails into my skull. The nerve pain shot through my limbs like electricity. But worse than that was the hopelessness. The doctors kept using that word, autoimmune. It became a blanket they threw over everything. Headache? Autoimmune. Can't feel your hands? Autoimmune. Can't breathe properly? Autoimmune. It felt like being trapped in a prison where the walls kept getting smaller. But something inside me refused to accept this as my ending. I'd lie there in the dark, body screaming, and I'd have these conversations with myself. Actually, they were arguments. My body would say, we're dying, we're broken, we'll never be normal again. And I'd respond out loud. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd tell my body, we are getting better. We are getting stronger. We will not stay here. My family thought I was losing my mind. Talking to yourself isn't usually a good sign, but I needed to hear those words. I needed to speak life when everything around me was speaking death. Then came the Sunday that changed everything. I'd been visiting this church for a few weeks. I could barely sit through the service because of the pain, but something kept drawing me back. That Sunday, Pastor David and his wife Grace were praying for people after service. I almost didn't go forward. I was tired of people praying for me and nothing changing, tired of the disappointment. But I went anyway. They put their hands on my shoulders and started praying. I wasn't really listening to their words at first. I'd heard so many prayers. But then something happened. My hands, which had been numb for months, suddenly felt warm. Not just warm, I could feel them, really feel them. The tingling wasn't pain. It was like life flowing back into dead places. I opened my eyes and looked at my hands, turned them over and over. Pastor David and Grace were still praying, but I couldn't focus on their words anymore. I was too amazed. I could feel my fingers. I could feel the air on my skin. That night, alone in my room, I felt something shift inside me. Not just physically, though the feeling in my hands remained. Something deeper. It was like a voice, not audible but clear, speaking directly to my heart. The message was simple but powerful. He told me that if I'd say yes to him, if I'd trust him and walk in what he was asking me to do, he wouldn't just heal my body. He'd heal everything around me too. I didn't understand it all, but I said yes. The healing didn't come all at once like you see in movies. It came in layers, in daily encounters. I'd wake up and find I could walk a little further than yesterday. The tachycardia episodes became less frequent. The headaches weren't as severe. My hands grew stronger. But here's what nobody tells you about healing. It requires you to participate. God was doing his part, but I had to do mine. I had to get up when my body wanted to stay in bed. I had to walk when my legs wanted to collapse. I had to declare health when I felt sick. There were setbacks, days when symptoms returned, and fear tried to convince me it was all in my head. Days when I'd be doing well and suddenly couldn't breathe again. Those were the hardest moments because doubt is loudest when you're tired. I remember one particularly difficult week about 4 months into my healing journey. I'd been doing so well, walking further each day, feeling returning to more my body. Then suddenly, everything crashed. The nerve pain came back with vengeance. My heart raced uncontrollably. I couldn't catch my breath. I sat on my bathroom floor at 2 a.m, crying and angry. I felt betrayed. Why would God start healing me just to let me fall back into sickness? Why give me hope just to crush it? But in that dark bathroom, on that cold floor, I heard that voice again in my heart. He reminded me that healing is mine. Not was mine, not will be mine, is mine. Present tense. He showed me that the symptoms were just noise, but his promise was truth. So I got up, literally and figuratively. I got up off that floor and declared again that I was healed. Not that I would be healed someday. That I am healed, even when my body was screaming otherwise. The doctors couldn't explain what was happening. I'd go for checkups and they'd run their tests, expecting to see the same results. But the numbers were changing. The inflammation markers were dropping. The nerve conduction studies were improving. Things that should take years to heal were healing in months. One doctor actually told me he didn't understand. He pulled up my original charts with all 5 diagnoses, then looked at my current results. He said my body shouldn't be responding this way. Autoimmune conditions don't just reverse themselves. He asked what medications I was taking. When I told him I'd stopped most of them, trusting God for my healing, he just shook his head. Now here I am, sharing this with you. I'm not going to lie and say I'm 100% healed of everything. That wouldn't be honest. Some mornings I still wake up and have to declare healing over my body. Some days are harder than others. But here's what I can tell you with absolute certainty. I don't have those 5 diagnoses anymore. The doctors can't find them. The wheelchair they wanted me to plan for, I don't need it. The house modifications they insisted on, never happened. I can walk. I can feel my hands and feet. My heart beats normally. The headaches are gone. The constant flu symptoms disappeared. Every day, I wake up and God meets me with his healing power. This is why I struggled to share my story. We're so used to hearing testimonies at the very end, when everything is perfect and wrapped up with a bow. But that's not real life. Real healing is a journey. It's God meeting you every single morning, every single moment you need him. It's choosing to believe his word over your symptoms. It's declaring life when death is knocking at your door. My healing is mine. Not was, not will be, is. And if you're reading this from a hospital bed, from a wheelchair, from a place of hopelessness, I want you to know that healing is yours too. Not because of anything special about me, but because of everything special about him. Right now, I want to pray with you. If you've never given your life to Jesus, or if you walked away and want to come back, pray this with me. Jesus, I believe you are the Son of God. I believe you died for my sins and rose again. I'm sorry for my sins. Come into my heart. Heal me. Make me new. I surrender my life to you today. If you prayed that prayer, welcome to the family. Comment "Save" below so we can celebrate with you. For my brothers and sisters around the world who are persecuted for believing in Jesus, I'm praying for you right now. Some of you can't even share your faith openly. Some face violence, imprisonment, or death. You are not forgotten. We stand with you. Please share this video. Someone needs to hear that healing is possible. Like, comment, and subscribe so we can continue spreading hope together.